Really tough day today. We lost a child to measles in Texas. As a dad, it's just really tough to even talk about it. I have young kids, and the fact that we lost a child to a preventable disease is just unbelievable, and it should never happen. What a tragic reality we're facing, right? I mean, first measles death in nearly a decade, and it should have never happened. So today I'm going to break down the crisis, what's happening now, why measles is so dangerous, the truth about vaccines, and really how we stop this outbreak and really do it before it claims more lives. So please stick with me for the entire video. By the end of this video, you'll know how to protect yourself as well as your loved ones. So let's break down what do we know so far, right? More than 130 cases of measles have been confirmed in Texas and New Mexico. And the people that were infected, the majority are unvaccinated children. And what we're seeing now, some cases with infants who are really too young to be vaccinated because of their age. And the virus is rapidly spreading in schools, in places like daycare centers, public spaces. So, it's a pretty virulent virus that's easily spread. And because of that, we lost a child in Lubbock, Texas. Uh, just a just a tragedy. Young life taken by a completely preventable disease. So I'm going to start by saying, you know what, we need to look at this not just as statistics. All of us have kids, um, that in some form or another, right? Some of us, have nieces and nephews. We have children that we care about, and to me, this loss of a child is a devastating loss for a family, a community, and a reminder of why we must act right now. Right? Measles, for a lot of people say, well, it's just a rash, right? It's one of the, it's like a childhood illness, no big deal. But it's really more than just a rash. It's one of the most contagious viruses on this planet. And let me explain why. One of the most contagious viruses. One infected person can spread measles to 90% of unvaccinated people around them. 90%. Secondly, the virus spreads through tiny droplets in the air and can stay in the air for up to 2 hours after the person who's infected leaves. After. So this means that this is the third point. This means you can catch measles just by walking into a room where someone who was infected with measles was there hours earlier. And so what is this? What does it mean to have measles, and what does it do to your body? So let's talk about some symptoms that you may or may not be aware of. High fever, cough, runny nose. That may sound familiar with other illnesses that you know about. Red watery eyes. Then you get the telltale rash, right? And that's what lots of people know about. But here's the real danger, folks. 1 in 5 people with measles end up in the hospital. 1 in 20 develop pneumonia, and that's the leading cause of death in children with measles. 1 in 1,000 get something called encephalitis, which is brain swelling that can lead to disabilities even throughout your life. So, you know, big problems can happen. And babies, pregnant women, and those with weakened immune systems, well, they're at the highest risk and of getting infected and having problems. So the big question, right? Why is the disease, like I said, was eradicated before? Why is measles back, right? Why is it rearing its ugly head? Well, we eliminated measles in the US back in 2000, but in the past few years, vaccination rates, remember, have dropped. And so why have rates actually dropped? Three things I'd like to talk about. Vaccine hesitancy. People hesitant about getting vaccine. And I think it's a lot of it's misinformation, especially fueled by stuff on social media, people reading it and looking at it and believing everything, despite there not being any facts. Number two reason is some communities have actually opted out of vaccinations because of personal choice, sometimes even due to religious choices. Third one is public health funding. It's gaps, meaning that sometimes you don't have the funding, leading to fewer routine vaccinations. And here is the hard truth. The measles vaccine, to me, it's not just a personal choice. It's a public health responsibility. It's not just about me and my, family. It's about us, right? It's our community. We have a responsibility also to protect our community. So there's a lot of myths that lead to this vaccination hesitancy. And let's bust some of those myths right now. So myth number one, the measles vaccine causes autism. False, wrong. This claim has actually been debunked many, many times. The original study suggesting this was fraudulent, was fake, and was actually taken back, retracted. Number two myth that we need to bust: measles isn't dangerous, just a childhood illness, not a big deal. False. Measles kills. And even if you survive, it can also cause deafness, brain damage, and long term problems with your immune system, with immune suppression. Another myth, right? Natural immunity is better than vaccine induced immunity. Not true. Getting the measles naturally can be dangerous. The vaccine, right? The vaccine that you get, the MMR vaccine, gives you the same protection without the life-threatening risk. So I think that getting 97% protection against the measles without the life-threatening risk is super important. Okay, so now you know the facts, right? Here's what you can do to protect yourself, your family, and your community. Number one, check your vaccination records. If you or your kids have not had both doses of the MMR vaccine, make an appointment with your doctor right now. Number two, stay informed. Don't fall for misinformation, right? You got to trust credible sources like the CDC. Just don't, listen to someone on social media telling you all kinds of stuff that may or may not be true. Number three, talk to your friends and family. Share this video. Help people understand that vaccines can save lives, right? All my family, they've been vaccinated because we know that it helps to save lives. So if you're a parent like me, wondering what to do, let me say this: your best protection unequivocally for your child is vaccination. The MMR vaccine is safe, it's effective, and it's life saving. So measles should not be making a comeback. And no child should die from a completely preventable disease. I need your help to stop the spread. I want you to please share this video, show it to other folks so you can educate them. Get vaccinated if you haven't already done so. And then speak up against all this bad or misinformation that people are, just accepting to be true. Let's speak up against it. And together, I feel like we can protect our own families, our communities, and the world. Let's stop measles before it takes another life. If you have questions about this video or other questions, please drop them in the comments below. Let's just keep this conversation going. Let's get the information flowing to really be able to make sure that we don't lose another life.